Hello and welcome to another ship showcase. Today we will be showcasing the Manatee. Now unfortunately the sun has went behind EOS, so it's going to be a darker ship showcase, but there's not much we can do about that. Alright, let's start off here. Just look at the general design of this ship. We can see that the thrusters are actually mounted more towards the front instead of in the rear. I guess I should say the main thruster block. There are thrusters in the rear, as well as a whole load of maneuvering thrusters up here. Look at how many maneuvering thrusters there are, my goodness. It's a pretty well armored ship. I have bought several of these and I've hit several asteroids with these as well, and these panels tend to come off, but it does save the thrusters underneath of them. In these little compartments we have our ore crates. Again, more thrusters like I had mentioned. At the back, most of these ships like the Marmot, they actually have the maintenance hatch on top, but on this one the maintenance hatch is in the rear. Let's take a look inside here. It is a really big open space down through here. I'm not sure if one would want to go about filling this up. It is kind of nice having this walkway in case you need to go ahead and repair something. But we can see here we have the hydrogen tanks on the sides, and then right here we just have the generators, which we'll go over to the other side of these here in a little bit and take a look at that. But yeah, it's a pretty spacious interior for a ship like this. Now this ship does hold 120 ore crates, so you're getting a decent amount of crates. As far as going to the moon with it, I have had luck mounting the warp core in the middle here, although it does take quite a bit of modification to do, and it also throws off the centering of the ship, so you will have to fly it manually. You can't just throw it on cruise and go, as it will pull to one side. Let's go ahead and take a look in here. We can see that it has 8 tier 1 generators. You got really easy access back here. It's not too bad. Sometimes it can be a little tricky trying to get the fuel rods in and out of this little compartment here, but it's not too bad. And then this feature here is a feature that's actually helped me a lot when I've hit asteroids on these outer thrusters. What you can do is you can go in here and just unbolt that, and now you have access to most of the thruster hardpoints, if not all of them. Looks like we can actually access all of them, as well as some of the maneuvering thruster hardpoints. So what typically happens if you hit an asteroid, you have to come in here and repair maybe a cable or a pipe, is typically what happens for me anyways. Really nice for accessibility. If I could get out. There we go. Up towards the front here, we have our YOLO stuff. We've got 2 passenger seats as well as our flight computers and our transponder up here. Let's go ahead and sit down in the captain's chair. Starting up here, it does have a button to shut down the generators as well as a minimum EPS button. That's pretty standard, as well as your cruise and turtle button. Nothing too new here. It looks like that there's some sort of navigation setup going on over here, although I don't know if it works. I've never messed with it. Over here we have our typical readouts as well as your transponder. Please don't leave that on. Let's talk about ship handling. So let's go ahead and just go full throttle here. And that's gonna blow off, but that's okay. We can see here that it's not a very quick ship at all. It's pretty slow. The journeys you're gonna have are gonna take a while, especially once you get this thing loaded down. It's gonna be a slow journey. If it's worth it, it's hard to say. You are getting 120 crates, but you're going to be going damn slow after you're coming back from a mining trip. If we go ahead and look at our yaw, It's not the greatest. And that's pretty surprising with all those maneuvering thrusters. Let's go ahead and look at the pitch. The pitch is, I would say, the same as the yaw. Pretty bad. And finally, here we are at the roll. Now theoretically, I could finish up this whole ship showcase before this thing rolls over. But we're not going to do that. The roll is terrible. You just best hope you don't have to roll, or it's going to be a bad day. But yeah, overall, there is room for upgrades. We can see up here on the top we have 3 free hard points where you could add more resource ports, you could add mining lasers and a harvester. And this ship's actually set up for that. If we take a look down here at the bottom, we see we have a slot here to go ahead and add one of those key mining components. And then inside the ship, as I mentioned earlier, we do have the minimum EPS button, so that would help with running something like a mining laser. Now where you would stick the buttons to do that, I don't know. Maybe you could just kind of offshoot something here and have another selection of buttons. I don't know quite how you would do that. I never put much thought into it, because if you want a ship with mining lasers and ore collectors and material scanners, that whole boat, this isn't going to be the ship for you. You know, I hate to dog it too much because I've owned several of them. It's gotten me to the moon and back several times. But each and every time I've taken this thing to the moon, it's been a pain in the ass. I haven't used it too much on around EOS. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to get you anywhere too quick. And then finally, the last thing to note is it does have 2 resource ports down here on the bottom. So yeah, overall, I'm not sure if I would upgrade to this ship. It is a decent ship to have, but it may be considered an additional ship in my book. I wouldn't upgrade to make this the main mining ship that you use. Maybe this is just something extra that you go along with a few friends to go to the moon. You know, it's adequate for that, albeit a pain in the ass. Yeah, the Manatee ship showcase. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to see more, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you have any recommendations for what ships I should showcase next, leave it in the comments section below. Finally, if you're interested in joining our company, we do a lot of really cool stuff. We do regular fleets, both PvP and mining fleets. We just have a ball over on the Discord, so I'll leave that link below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you later.